Hi everyone, today we're going to jump into bag 2. This is the shock assembly. We have opened up all our bags, put all the parts in our pit tray. You're going to notice there's some extra O-rings here. We do provide 4 extra O-rings in case you lose one during the build. And then we do suggest that when you're putting those O-rings onto the groove, you apply a little oil or lube around those surfaces. All right, so let's jump in. So what I just did there is I have some little O-ring grease sitting off to the side. I like to do is just, then it sticks to my finger. Take your shaft. And this is a little tricky, just be patient. Obviously these are small parts. But what I like to do is basically take the O-ring, slide it over, and you're just gonna use your finger to press it on like so. That one went on pretty easy. Let's try another one. Again, dipping it in the O-ring lube on the side. Helps you catch it on the finger. Let's see if this one goes as easy. And there you go. All right. The trick is not to get that O-ring in the slot on the top of the shock shaft. That's the tricky part. There you have it. All right, 3 for 3, we're doing pretty good. All right, so line those up like so. Slide it over. There you have it. There is your shock shaft assembly. Okay, next up, we are going to jump into step 2 for your shock assembly. And with this, we're going to use our new shock assembly tool. It just makes life a little bit easier. So first step here, we're going to install the shock end, the shock ball cup in there. Take a body, install it in there. And then with your lubed shock shaft, just make sure there's a decent amount of lube on there. I mean, nothing much. I mean, there's, I don't know if you guys can see that, but just a little coating on there is all you need. Just creates a little bit of dampening in the shock. Install that. Then we're gonna screw that in. In the manual, it actually says 7.2 here. If you'll notice on the manual online, it says 7.3. We had to make a running change, obviously, because the shock tool doesn't have 7.2. It just has 6.7, 7.0, and 7.3. So just a heads up there. We're going to build this car with a 7.3 of shock length. So put it in there. You can see it's a little loose. Tighten that down. Snug it. And you are good. All right, next up, we are going to drill our shock cap. Well, we're going to install our shock cap. The easiest way that I found to do this is put the shock cap in there, hold it with your thumb, transfer it over, and then snap it into place. All right, so let's vent that shock cap. You're just going to drill it until you just feel it sink in, just like it did there, and then back it out like so. Clean off any debris that you have. And then one thing that we like to do is open the shock body up and clean any debris that may have fallen inside from drilling. So that looks good. You need to put the shock cap back on. All right, one shock is done. So we're just going to build all the shocks here. So just work along. We're not going to, well, just going to work along here together. You can just assemble as we go. Give you a little bit more time. So set that to 7.3. You can see it's too tight, so now it's loose. All right, there we go. All right, let's install the shock cap. Again, hold that with your thumb like so, transfer it over, snap it into place. Drill it until it sinks in, just sunk in, good. Back it out, and then you're gonna pop this back off to get any of the debris out of there. And then reinstall your shock cap. You know, after you use this tool for a little while, you get pretty good at snapping the shock cap back on. Nice and easy on the fingers. 2 down, 2 to go. Okay, set it to 7.3. And we got that one perfect that time. Good. We're getting better. All right, install the shock cap. Hold it with your thumb, transfer it over, snaps into place. Vent our shock cap. There you go. Pull that out. Make sure there's no debris in your shock body or the shock cap. You don't want that interfering with your O-ring. If you want, you could take a little blade and make sure that, you know, there's just no loose debris there, but just be careful. Okay, one more to go. Cap. Take the last shaft. Oh, that one's a little loose, so we'll tighten her up. You're good. There you go. And vent the last shock cap. Let's clean the debris out. Make sure there's nothing in there. Looks good. And then reinstall your shock cap, and you have just built 4 shocks. All right, there we go. All right, so for the front shocks, those don't have any springs on them. For the rear shocks, we obviously got to put the springs in there. We suggest not running the C-clips at first. Go run the car first, make sure that you know, everything's good. Then you can start tuning it with your C-clips. One thing here on this, there is a note in the manual. Just pay attention to how you're installing the spring cup. Sometimes we see people put them on wrong. Just make sure that the undercut goes where the spring is, like so. And there you have it. 4 shocks built, and bag 2 is complete.